Hello, guys. My name is Scott Webb, and I am with East Coast Sports Investments and also with Webby Sports Inc. And today is Friday, June the 15th, and this is going to be my play of the day in reference to line value. And this is going to be a game out in Texas today. This is Colorado Rockies against the Texas Rangers. And we have Chad Bettis, who is going to be facing Yohander Mendez. Yohander Mendez is making his first start of the season, actually his first start in Major Leagues. And he is listed as a relief pitcher. He hasn't thrown that many innings, and in the minor leagues hasn't pitched that well either. But they are a small favorite today. They are minus 110, and my line is Colorado minus 112. So that puts some value onto Colorado, meaning that I believe they should be the favorite, and in this case they are the underdog. So let's get into it for just a bit. We're looking at Chad Bettis, and first of all, he's pitched 13 games. The team is 7-6 in his 13 starts, but he's pitched 7 on the road, and he's been a good road warrior here. They're 5-2 in his starts on the road. And the under is 2-4, so that means he's probably pitched pretty well in those games. And looking at his metrics, they are pretty good. He pitched 44 innings, only give up 31 hits, 10 runs, so his earned run average is 203 in away starts, and a batting average against of 199. So he's been pretty good away from Coors Field in Colorado. When you're looking at three different ways, I kind of break down the starting pitcher, and we look at the sabermetric metrics to look at the predictive numbers, and those are going to be xFIP and SIERA. And Bettis's xFIP is 414. That's the predictive fielding independent pitching. That just means how much control does the pitcher have over the game. The average xFIP is 411, so he's right there at the average. And when it comes to SIERA, his number is 404. SIERA is a metric that is similar to xFIP, but it also puts in play the field dynamics. So that's why his number went down a little bit, because of being in Coors Field. Anyway, it's 404, and the SIERA average is 415, so it's slightly better than average. So we're looking at a veteran starting pitcher in the major leagues, been around a little bit, and used to going against major league lineups. Against a young kid, Yohander Mendez, and I'll just give you his numbers. He's a minor league pitcher. He's pitched 10 games in AAA, and he's got 10 starts. He's 0-6 in those 10 starts. He's pitched 51 innings. He gave up 59 hits, 35 runs. His earned run average is 5.26, and his walks plus hits divided by innings pitched, his whip is 1.597. So in other words, 1.60. So if you were going to compare that to like a major league pitcher, the whip average is 126. So he's putting on almost, well, 1.5 guys, a little more than that, in a minor league game as opposed to a major league game. And now he's going to have to face major league pitching for the first time. So I think that there's a bit of a struggle expected for Yohander Mendez. So I would suspect that Texas is going to end up in their bullpen pretty quick and have a long day trying to get around the Colorado hitters. So that was the part of it where we just look at the predictive metrics. But when it comes to run prevention, that's a big area. And the run prevention metrics in this case are strikeouts, walks, ground ball rate, when the balls are in play, do they go for hits, how many home runs per 9 innings, that kind of stuff. And Bettis is in pretty good shape here. He's not great. He's not like an ace pitcher, but we didn't expect that, or the line would be a lot different. His strikeout rate's 19.5. The average strikeout rate is 22. So as we look at it from that perspective, he's a little bit lower than average. So there'll be more balls in play than normal. The average on balls in play for him is 291. The average in Major League Baseball is 300, so it's a little bit below average. So I don't expect him to be any more hits necessarily. But where he's good is the walk rate. It's 5.9%. The average is 7. So he's not putting guys on base, which means Texas is going to have to earn their way on. And then when it comes to batting average against, he's at 275, which is a little high. The normal is 250. So, guys are getting there, but his whip rate's 139, which is just slightly high. So we got to see how they can take advantage of it, because his ground ball rate's 48%, which is good. The average is 45, so he's better at keeping the ball down. But he has a hard time. If a ball gets in the air, he gives up a home run. It's 2.36 home runs per 9 innings, and the average is only 1.19, and that's double. So that's kind of a scary thing. So what I did was to go back and double check to see where's Texas at right now in their home runs, and over the last 7 days they've hit 2. So I'm not suspecting Texas is going to be in a situation here where they light up Bettis, especially when Bettis has been so good on the road. I think Bettis finds a way to be competitive here, and that puts us in a pitching edge advantage, and especially if we can stay away from sort of the middle of their relief team. So if he can go 6 or 7 innings tonight, that puts us in where we can get to their better relief pitchers and have a good shot. If he goes only 5 or 4 innings, then this is going to be a slugfest kind of game, and we'll have to see how it turns out. But I like the idea that Bettis is the better pitcher, and we're getting him as a dog. He's a veteran pitcher, and he does really well on the road. And secondly, Texas is not in a position where they can take advantage of Chad Bettis' weakness of the home runs. And then when you take it from another step further, you have to see, what does Colorado do in terms of facing left-handed pitching? And they rank 9th in baseball currently. And when I do these are rankings for what they're doing current, which is within the last 7 days. So their weighted runs above average is ranked 9th. And when you break down the team and you start looking at that, they have 5 guys of their 9 that are going to be in the lineup that are positive in that category. And that starts with Nolan Arenado. He is excellent against left-handed pitching. His weighted on base average is 500, so that means he's getting on base every other time. So you look at DJ LeMahieu, he's 450, and Trevor Story's 438 in those categories. So those are going to be guys that are going to get on base. I think they're going to score early. I think they'll score quite a bit and take the lead, and then it's just a matter of whether they can hang on to it. And at the line value we're getting a team that should be the favorite as a team that is the underdog. The other part, too, that kind of cinches it up for me is Texas has lost 6 straight games, so they're on a losing streak. They're not playing well, and they're in a particular spot where they're starting someone to re-energize their team. But this is a player that isn't really someone that is that caliber. So he's actually in a spot where it could be damaging to him in a sense that he can't get AAA hitters out. So now he's going to be asked to get a lineup of Colorado hitters out. And I don't think that's going to fare well for him. So that's our line value play today. We're going to go with the Colorado Rockies at plus 100 in this case. I have them as a favorite of minus 112. So we're getting quite a bit of value here. So if you take this play, good luck. And thanks for paying attention and watching. Have a great afternoon.